Hello there everybody and welcome to another C tutorial, and today we're going to be looking at if statements. Let's imagine you would like to compare two values or variables. To do that you'll need to use if statement. Now, for example, we'd like to check if our character has above 50% HP. Let's declare a variable int HP, which is currently, for example, 60. Now, to use an if statement, we need to write if. Inside the brackets, we need to write our condition. And inside the curly brackets, we need to write an action, block of code that will be executed whenever this condition is true. Now, let's check if HP is greater than 50. This is how you check if it's greater. Now, if it's greater than 50, let's print out yes, semicolon. And let's build and run this code. Oh, I'm sorry, print F. Let's build and run this code. And you can see that it prints out a yes. Now, if our health was to be like 30 and we were to run this, you can see that it doesn't print anything out because to print yes, our HP has to be above 50. To check if our HP is below 50, we need to use lesser sign like this. This is below 50, and if we run this, you can see that it gives a yes because it is below 50 right now. And now what if we would like to check if it's below or equal to? Like if it's 50 right now, it will print out nothing because this checks if it's strictly less than 50. Now we'll need to add an equal sign, less or equals. Now this will check whether this condition is met. And when you run this, you can see that it prints out a yes because it is equal to 50. You could also do this with greater or equal. If we build and run this, you can see that it still gives out a yes. However, if a number was to be less than 50, like 49, it'll immediately not give us anything. The last condition left is equal condition. What if we'd like to check if our HP is equal to 75? You need to write two equal signs. Why two equal signs? Because one equal sign, as you can see above, is used to set a value. If you were to use just one equal sign, it will just set HP as 75. It will not check whether if it's equal to 75 or no. Now, if we were to do it like this and then change the value of HP to 75 and run this, you can see that it gives us a yes. However, if this was to be like 65, and we run this, you can see that there is no result here. The last condition left to check is a not condition, which is essentially just checking any value except the one that we set. For example, we'd like to check if our health point is not 0. Now, to write a not, we'll need to use a exclamation mark, which is exclamation mark equals. And if we check this, this essentially checks if our health points is not 0. And if we were to run this, you can see that it gives us a yes because 65 is not 0. Now, if this was anything except 0, like -1, it still gives us a yes. But if it was to be 0, and we run this, you can see that it doesn't give us any result because it equals to 0. Now you could also compare two variables, as I've stated before. For example, we've got int a, which equals to 10, and b, which equals to 7. And we'd like to check if a is greater than b. You type it like this, same as the numbers, but just would include variables for both. And we'll print out yes, if this is correct. If we were to build and run this, you can see that it gives us a yes. Now, if b was to be bigger than a, for example 17, and you were to run this, you can see that it doesn't give us a result. Now, if we'd like to check several statements together, like for example, if our number is less than 20 but greater than 10, we'll need to use an AND operator. For example, if A is greater than 10, and, which is written by two ampersands, and A is less than 20. Print yes. If I run this, you can see that it gives us a yes, because it's less than 20 and greater than 10. If this number was to be 25 and we run this, you can see that it doesn't print out anything because it's greater than 20. Another operator we've got is an OR operator. Now, for example, we'd like to check few statements like if A is equal to 10 or 15. And to type OR, is type A is equal to 10, and type OR we'll need to type two vertical bars, and then the next statement, A equals to 15. And this will essentially check if A is 10 or A is 15. And if either one of these is correct, it will give us, it will count this statement as true. Now it will print F, yes. And if we run this, this gives us a yes. And if this was to be 10, this will also give us a yes. However, if it's anything but 10 and 15, it will give us nothing. Now, as we've seen before, whenever if condition is false, it does not execute anything. But what if we'd like it to execute something whenever it's false? For example, let's get ourselves an int a, which equals to 5, and let's check if a is greater than 10. Now, obviously, this will not print anything because a is clearly less than 10. But if we want to if we wanted to print something out whenever it's false, we'll need to use an else statement. Else statement is typically written after the curly braces of if. As you can see where it closes, you type an else, and then you open the next curly braces. And here you type what you would like it to print out whenever, or what would you like to perform whenever the condition before, in this case this one, is false. Now let's make it print out no. If we run this, you can see that it gives us a no, because this condition is false, so it does not execute this, it goes here. But if this was to be true, like 15, which is clearly greater than 10, you can see that it gives us a yes. Now, what if we would like to check several if statements? For example, an age checker. If the age is less than 20, that means that this person is a teenager. If it's less than 12, it means that this person is a kid. And if it's above 20, that means that this person is an adult. Now, we could do this like this. We could type 3 if statements, which would one by one check the ages, or we could use else if. Now let me type it first. For example, if age is less than 20, it will print out you are a kid. And after the curly braces finish, we'll type else if, which gives us a chance to write another statement in case the first one is false. Now, if this one is true, it will not check the second statement. However, if it's false, it will check the second statement. And let's write if age is less than 20. This will give us that you are a teenager. And else, which means that whenever it's above 20, all the other choices, including 20, it will give us You are an adult. Now, if we were to run this, oh, sorry, I did not set any value to age. Let's make it 10 at first. It should give us you are a kid, and it should stop here because this statement is already true. As you can see, it gives us you are a kid. If the age is above 12 and less than 20, let's say 16, we run this, and you can see that it gives us you are a teenager. And if it's anything above 20, including 20, like let's say 100, it'll give us you're an adult. Now let's try with a real life example by using the user input. Let's create int password and let's get the password from the user. %d because this character is an integer. This variable, sorry. And let's check if, oh, sorry. Let's create the int password underscore password correct. Let's name it like this. And it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's check if our password is equal to password correct. Now, if it is correct, it will give us correct. However, if it's not, else, it will give us incorrect password. Now let's run this code and let's type 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, it gives us correct. However, if we type anything other than 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go 8523, and you can see that it gives us incorrect password. And this is it for today. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.